This happened in October 2018 on a regular subway line. During rush hour, a man boarded the train at Central Station. Dozens of passengers saw him. He stood near the doors, checked his phone, looked nervous. At the next station, the doors opened. People exited. People entered. The man did not leave. But when the doors closed, he was gone. No one saw him exit. No one saw him fall. No alarms. No emergency stop. Security footage showed something worse. On camera, the man was visible, standing still. Then, one frame. He simply wasn't there. Police reviewed the footage for weeks. No edits, no glitches, no missing seconds. His phone was later found on the seat, unlocked, with a draft message. It said, "Well, something is wrong with this train." The sender field was empty.
He disappeared on a familiar path, 300 meters from home. The boy went out to walk his dog that evening. He walked there every single day. Neighbors' cameras recorded him entering the forest. The dog ran ahead. Nothing unusual. 9 minutes later, he walked back out, alone, without the dog. He moved slowly, very slowly, looking around like he didn't recognize the place. His mother ran toward him. He asked, "Where do we live?" She thought it was shock, until he said something strange. The forest wasn't like this. He insisted the path was longer, the trees were taller. He said he had walked much farther, but the footage shows exactly 9 minutes. The dog was found the next morning, on the same path, tied to a tree with his leash. The knot was neat, adult. The boy doesn't know how to tie knots like that. He swears he didn't do it, and that there was no one in the forest, except himself, walking toward him. People disappear in forests all the time, but not like this. In October 2016, a man went hiking alone, a familiar forest trail, well-marked paths, no bad weather. He told his sister he'd be back by sunset. She replied, that message was delivered. At 5:42 p.m., he sent a photo. Trees, nothing unusual. After that, silence. Search teams arrived the next morning. Dogs followed his scent straight down the trail. Then it stopped, abruptly, as if he vanished. No footprints, no signs of a struggle, no damaged ground. 3 days later, his phone connected again. From deep inside the forest, a draft message appeared. Never sent. It said, "I can hear people calling my name, but I can't see anyone." He came down from the mountains, but no one remembered seeing him go up. In September 2016, a man named Alex disappeared during a solo hike. The trail was marked. The weather was clear. Other hikers were nearby. He stopped answering messages at 3:17 p.m. Search teams found nothing for 2 days. No footprints, no gear, no signs of a fall. On the third morning, Alex walked out onto a mountain road. Calm, uninjured, his clothes were clean. He said he had been hiking for only a few hours. The sun never moved. The wind suddenly stopped. He heard voices calling his name. But when he turned, there was no one there. His watch showed 3 days had passed. Alex never went hiking. The family vanished in open water. No storm, no distress call. They left the marina at 9:12 a.m. Calm morning, clear sky. 4 people on board, father, mother, 2 children. At 9:47, a fishing boat passed them. Witness says they were waving, smiling. At 10:03, the GPS tracker froze. The boat icon stopped moving, but the signal stayed active. Coast Guard reached the location 20 minutes later. The engine was running. The boat was drifting in a slow circle. No damage, no blood, no signs of struggle. 4 life jackets still hanging in place. Breakfast plates on the table, still warm. The father's phone was recording video, 37 seconds long. The camera points at empty seats. You can hear water, wind, and the father whispering, "Why are you all so quiet?" Then the recording ends. Investigators say the audio contains 4 additional voices. None of them belong to the family. He went fishing before sunrise, like he did every weekend. The lake was familiar. The weather was calm. Other fishermen saw him arrive. At 6:42 a.m., he sent a voice message. He said the water was completely still. Too still. Then he said something strange, that the shoreline looked closer than it should. Minutes later, the message cut off. Search teams arrived by noon. They found his boat. The engine was cold. The nets were untouched. There were footprints leading into the water, but none coming back. 2 days later, his phone rang. The signal came from the middle of the lake. He sounded confused, asked why everyone was worried, said he was still fishing. Then he asked one question. How long has this lake been empty? The call ended. The lake has no record of ever being drained. The pilot swears he landed a flight that never existed. It happened on a routine night route. Clear weather, normal takeoff. 42 passengers on board. He remembers every face during boarding. A crying child. A couple arguing quietly. A man filming the wing. Halfway through the flight, the cabin went silent. Not calm. Silent. No engine hum in his headset. No chatter from control. Just dead air. He checked the instruments. Everything green, perfect altitude, perfect speed. But the clock had stopped. When they landed, the runway lights were on. Emergency crews surrounded the plane. No tower response, just flashing vehicles. He opened the cockpit door. The cabin was empty. Seatbelts unbuckled. Phones on seats. Warm coffee in cups. Ground staff insisted the aircraft arrived with no passengers. No flight plan. No record of departure. But the pilot still has the boarding list in his pocket, and every name is scratched out. He went missing on a marked mountain trail. Clear weather, easy route, no risks. His wife walked 10 meters behind him. She never saw him leave the path. 1 second he was there, the next second gone. No sound, no fall, no scream. Rescuers searched for 3 days. Dogs followed his scent, then stopped right in the middle of the trail. His footprints ended abruptly, as if he vanished between 2 steps. Then something stranger appeared. On the 4th day, a tourist found a photo on his phone. A photo taken after he disappeared. In the picture, he stands on the same trail, looking directly into the camera. Behind him, people in old climbing gear, outdated, decades old. No one remembers taking that photo. But his wife says one thing still terrifies her. She recognizes the people behind him. They are hikers who went missing in these mountains years ago.
He traveled around the world, but the world never noticed. In 2014, a man from Eastern Europe started a round-the-world journey. No blog, no sponsors, just tickets, a camera, and a route. He messaged his family once a month, always the same tone, short, emotionless. 3 years later, he came home, earlier than planned, without explanation. His parents didn't recognize him at first. Documents checked out, fingerprints matched. But he couldn't remember a single country. He named cities he was never in, showed photos that didn't exist. In them, it was him. but with strangers, different faces. His passport was missing stamps. Airlines had no records. Hostels found no bookings. The last message arrived after he was already home. From a different date, in different handwriting, it said only one thing: "If I return, it won't be me."
He never reached the next town, but his motorcycle did. At 9:40 p.m., traffic cameras recorded him leaving the highway, alone, calm, normal speed. At 10:12 p.m., a patrol car found his bike parked neatly at a roadside cafe. Engine cold, keys in the ignition. Witnesses were inside. They all remembered him. They said he walked in, ordered coffee, sat by the window. One man even recalled his worried face, said he kept looking outside. But the waitress swore she never served him. No cup, no receipt, no camera footage. The chair by the window was slightly pulled out, like someone had just stood up. His helmet was found on the table. No one saw him leave. The door never opened. The security camera shows customers sitting still for 14 minutes. Not a single person moves, except one chair. It slowly slides back toward the table, on its own.